IVM.
Helping us pay our bills this week is Setu IMAX. For more information, go to setu.in. It's been another great week on IVM Podcast, and if you're not following us on social media, please do. We're at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc., etc. On our latest episodes of The Seen and the Unseen, Amit Verma is joined by author and columnist Vivek Kaul to decode how the government uses and misuses data for optics management. On Pulyabazi, Pranay and Saurav talk to author Snigdha Poonam about her new book, Dreamers. On Football Twaddle, we have Azim Banatwala as a guest with Saru, Baru and Kumar discussing the end of the UEFA Champions League. And on Who's Your Mommy, Veda talks about mothers and how they cope with their constant sleep deprivation. As I said, it's been a great week, and please try and listen to as many of these shows as you can. And now, on to your show.
Every week we come loaded with a round of recommendations for you guys so you can check out cool stuff and be as informed as us. Before we recommend our stuff for today, a word from our sponsors. I have something cool to share with you guys. Here on IVM Likes, we spend a lot of time collectively watching different kinds of screens, like a phone screen or laptop screen or tablet or the big screen. And all of these things can take a toll on your eyes. Like, in fact, if a lot of my friends are watching stuff with me, they end up rubbing their eyes, which is a very common indication that they're taking too much strain on their eyes. So here's a cool thing that you can check out to make sure your eyes get the rest they require. Setu IMAX is a modern health supplement which ensures your eyes stay protected as you enjoy all that screen time for longer without any strain. Setu IMAX is powered by natural carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So make sure that you go to www.setu.in and check out their great product. And if you put the code SETU50, that is SETU 50, all caps, even the numbers, you can get a 50% off on your first purchase. And we also have a cool contest for you. If you share a screenshot of what you're watching on your phone right now, whether it's your Instagram feed or your favorite YouTube channel or anything else, and upload it to your Instagram story using hashtag IMAX, which is EYEMAX, and tag @SetuIndia, and you get a chance to win a TV binging kit. So protect your eyes, or rather screen-proof them. They are precious. Hi guys, welcome to IVM Likes, your weekly source of recommendation and pop culture banter from the IVM staffers. I'm Naveen Narona. Joining me today is Jaanam.
Hi.
And Kavita.
Hello.
Kavita makes a rare appearance every once in a while, once in a blue moon. Last time you were here, we spoke about songs only.
Yes.
And today also we'll talk about songs. We're talking about songs that are not about love.
Yay!
Oh, that's actually the complete opposite of what we spoke about last time.
The last time I was on this episode, I was discussing, we were discussing makeout playlists.
Yes. For today, we have songs that if you don't have anybody in your life to make out with, then sit alone, use your hand, take some lubricant and wipe your tears and listen to this music. But before we go into the discussion, obviously we have our round of recommendation like every week. And Jaanam, what do you have for us today?
So I'm recommending a British TV series. It's actually a documentary series. It's called Blue Planet 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's following from the 2001 award-winning Blue Planet.
Yeah.
And it's hosted by David Attenborough.
Oh, nice.
And the reason I love this is because I watched it in the theatre. And it was in 2D, but honestly, I felt it didn't need to be 3D because the 2D experience itself was so immersive.
Yeah.
The whole film is very entertaining because you learn about all these creatures living in the ocean and you cannot even imagine the kind of life that is under there.
So awesome.
Yeah, and we saw these fish. There was this one fish with like a transparent head. And the eyeballs were facing up. So
like big light bulbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like the fish can see above the head. So basically imagine like your brain is transparent and you can see
through the brain.
Have
you guys gone diving ever?
No.
Please. I mean,
me neither.
You have to. Find yourself places like Lakshadweep or Sri Lanka are cheaper places to dive in. But man, that is like the single most
The
life-altering.
stuff,
Yeah. After actually watching this movie,
experience.
if you like people like me who haven't gone diving, you actually would love to do it.
Yes.
Because
And you know that, you can, a lot of people have like, issue, I mean, water issues in the sense like, whether they can swim, not, but my God, it is by far, I mean, it's another world out there.
Like that scene from Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara where he starts crying after he goes down.
yeah,
Okay, that
exactly.
was very, okay, that film and diving and...
that film basically like, that was the time when Suzanne told him that he's leaving. So then that's when like the tears came. Like I've never seen Hrithik Roshan really cry properly in any movies except that
Because
one.
he was probably feeling one with himself. Apparently, at least that's what is
It's
being...
supposed to be,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like another thing you realize while watching this is like humans are the worst creatures on this planet because even though animals have this survival of the fittest thing going on, and like they show the whole food chain also, like one creature is eating the other creature, and you actually, while watching it, you feel bad for the creature who's being eaten or attacked. So,
But that is the circle of life, right?
Yeah, I mean it is, but the point
It's
is that
extremely
when you're watching
diabolical,
it,
yes.
I
even
think with a
watching-
plastic bag that's floating in the water,
Yeah.
and somebody's going to eat the jellyfish but ends up eating plastic. It's just the worst, right? Like, the reason that something like this, like Blue Planet or Planet Earth, needs to be seen by many people is that we understand the importance of conservation, because we have been using the oceans as a dumping ground for years now, like
Yeah,
without
exactly.
even disregarding entirely like this life below the ocean level.
Yeah.
Just oil, plastic, everything. And when people like if you've seen that video of this tortoise or turtle rather, whose nose is being like blocked with a straw.
Yeah.
So and he's
or even that other baby
That
seahorse with
the earbud.
earbud.
Yeah.
Or this Nat Geo's cover this year is the big plastic bag which looks like an iceberg.
Floating island of garbage.
Yeah.
So I think if you are listening out there, please don't throw garbage in the water. I
Yeah.
think that's what we'll say.
Yeah, cool. And if you want to listen to me and Tejas talk more about Blue Planet 2, you can check out last week's episode of Geek Fruit Bulletin.
Cool. Next up, Kavita, what do you have for us?
So today I'm recommending a friend's book. Actually, she wrote, a colleague of mine from Network 18 wrote a book on brands, and it's called Rebuild. It's basically how Indian brands overcame crisis and emerged stronger, better, wiser. So it's basically, a case study vibe. Basically, it kind of helps understand what happens when Indian brands across product categories, homegrown or multinational, tackle crisis, right? Expected and some self-inflicted. And this, I mean, we've had varied brands, whether it's been brands like Cadbury, with bugs in chocolate,
worms,
or Coke, or Pepsi, or, any of these kind of things, right? Or Maggie, or what.
Yeah.
So, and I really thought, I mean, after a long time, I kind of, read a book that, featured interviews with top management as well as PR executives and brand watchers and the book examines like circumstances that causes brands to falter. And product failures are big brand failures, right? And that's something that you have to avoid. But at the same time, these things happen. And how do brands, take from that and learn? Because again, PR is an extremely important aspect of how they handle this stuff, right? Also, you can go out and make a lot of promises, but now to keep those promises, especially like from the health and, like the FDI element to all of this. So great consumer insight, and then also looks at the steps that they, took to minimize damage and recover like from, the crisis that they're facing. So I actually thought that, it was basically a great ready reckoner for students in marketing, students in
Brand
sales,
advertising,
brand, brand custodians and the general reader to gain insights in tackling potential crisis. So
So does this book only feature like you spoke about the case studies? Do they only mention like big brands and how they've done it, or even the lesser known brands?
So of course this book is like showcasing 20 brands, 20 top brands that had an issue and how they dealt with it.
Okay.
See, a lot of these people also, and this is something that the author Ramya Ramamurthy told me that she said, she reached out to a lot of people. Now, a lot of things happened maybe 10 and 15 years ago.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to speak about it again.
Okay.
When actually, and as people within the marketing space, we're just like, what, it was an issue that you faced, then there is no reason why you cannot speak about it, because I mean, if you kind of recovered from that crisis you faced, then it makes for an even no, that's what obviously the brand people are saying. But I'm saying that as someone who is a brand watcher myself, I'm like, if you actually speak about it now, it'll actually basically put out the message that you dealt with it well. Bugs in bars of chocolate and stuff like that, and especially with the kind of country and the weather and transport systems that we have, is not something that we don't know or haven't heard of. But how are you going to tackle an issue when you get accused or something like this?
Amitabh Bachchan and his grandkid talking about worms.
Exactly. So I thought like this book kind of showcased some conversations really well, and it's now out on Amazon. So I think if anyone would like to,
and Ramya spoke about this in length on Cyrus's podcast.
Yes, actually you should catch her episode, because again Cyrus is someone that likes talking about these things, and I thought that episode was really, really nice.
Yeah, very, very in-depth understanding, and from her mouth itself, it's like she's done research for so many years.
Absolutely, like she spoke about Facebook and how the Facebook stocks like rose after he went for his deposition. So these are extremely interesting insights, into the world of brand and marketing. So I'd like to recommend.
Awesome, Rebuild. Cool. This week I'm recommending a small YouTube video. I think everybody should check it out to understand the role of a bass player in any band, right? Like we continue making jokes about like bass players being like non-significant. They're just there in the background. And Kavita, you're learning bass right now from True School.
Yes.
So you know the importance of it. Yes. So this video is called How Flea Plays Bass. Flea being the legendary bassist from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes.
And every song that you listen of RHCP, you know that distinct twang that he brings to the whole thing. So the video is a small essay, 7-minute essay on what it's like to understand Flea's playing of music, like how he uses jazz and funk and all these elements and converts them into alternate rock. And they do like a lot of similarity comparison with like understanding how he accompanies the vocals of Anthony Kiedis and as well as the lead guitarist and Chad Smith as well. So he, being the bassist, is not just there to give bass. He's there to like create an environment, and he's a slapstick guy. He's just like running around, jumping around, half naked. Wow. So Flea, for me, one of those musicians that I really, like when you look at a band, you look at the lead singer first and then the guitarist first, but I look at Flea first when I look at RHCP. So this video for me is like, something that I've always wanted, and I finally found it. So the video is by this channel called Polyphonic, which is very famous on YouTube. Right. They've done a lot of video essays, how like even they have videos about Mark Ronson and basically all the modern day musicians and how they are taking elements from the older musical genres and now reinventing it in their own way.
Okay.
Right?
And how long is this video?
7.5 minutes.
Okay. So is it like, is it shot like in one place at one time, or is it?
It's a video essay. So he uses graphics, he uses videos, he uses like even graphic intellect to explain how he uses the rhythm of his bass guitar to like construct music.
Okay, so you mean it gets a little technical about music and
not too technical. I think it's done for a lay person to understand how he does what he does.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so if you have ever wondered what a bassy does in a band, or what their role is, or what someone like Flea does to enhance the music, then do check out the video. We'll link it with the description.
I personally feel the bassist is one of the key people in a band.
Exactly.
They are actually. So forms the very large rhythm section, right? I mean, he's the guy who's connecting every other instrument on stage to the vocalist, and and kind of creating like that entire like melody thing going. But actually,
awesome.
Reason why actually a lot of people when I joined school were like, why the bass?
And we also spoke to I like how we have like jumping points to all the conversations, but we spoke to P-Man on Varta Lab.
Okay.
And P-Man was the bassist for like a bunch of bands.
Yes.
So he told me like how the hierarchy of getting laid for bass is like the last like the singers, the guitarist, the band manager,
everybody
will
get
laid, but like the bassist will be like still waiting over there with his 4-string. So so it's high time now to give bassists the respect they deserve.
Right.
And Flea is leading the way, obviously. So check it out, How Flea Plays Bass on Polyphonic on YouTube.
Awesome.
So let's do a roundup quickly before we go into the break.
Yeah. I recommended Blue Planet 2, a British nature documentary series.
Kavita?
Rebuild by Ramamurthy, a book on brands and the crisis they've faced.
And I recommended How Flea Plays Bass, a YouTube video, a video essay on how Flea from RHCP plays his bass. We also have a cool recommendation from Dinkar Dwivedi, 1/3 of the Geek Fruit gang, who has something to recommend. Check it out.
Hey, this is Dinkar from the Geek Fruit podcast, and I would like to recommend a narrative fiction podcast from Marvel called Wolverine: The Long Night. It's a 10-episode series of about half an hour long episodes, and it's a really well laid out story. It's got a sort of whodunit detective story framing device. It's set in a little town in Alaska. There's a cult in there, and there's Richard Armitage as Wolverine. He just pops up once in a while. He's almost not there while the story revolves around him. So it's really great, very well done. It's not the most groundbreaking story, but it's a really well done story told very well in the audio medium. Brilliant sound design, nice music. There's a after show as well that I recommend you do not check out. So yeah, listen to Wolverine: The Long Night and don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Bye.
So that was Dinkar Vedi. Do check out Geek Fruit and you can hear more of him every week. We'll take a quick break now and we'll be back and we'll talk about the non-love songs that we love.
Yeah. It's IVM here, let's go. We the IVM kids on the block over here. Just to talk, taking a break from producing all day. Coming on this podcast cause we got stuff to say. IVM Daily is the name of the show. Monday to Friday, we ready to go. Talking about stuff in our head. We might even talk about our favorite bread. Signing out, it's IVM here, the podcast network that's in your ear.
Catch IVM Daily, Monday to Friday on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to IVM Likes. I'm here with Kavita and Jaanam has left the building. Replacing her for this round is Priyanka.
Hi.
Priyanka looks very excited.
Yes.
She's been researching.
We've been planning this for 1 week now.
Yes.
Let's roll.
Yes. I have even broken up in the meanwhile just to talk about not having love in
So
my
many
life.
things happened in 1 week, guys.
Awesome. Cool. So, who wants to start off this round? I'll start first. My favorite song of all time. I already mentioned Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm going to mention 2 songs by them that aren't about love. One is Hey-O, Snow.
Yeah.
And the second is Can't Stop. Can't Stop is one of those songs that I just listen to when I'm in a bus or a train. Or basically just to deal with the bustle
Journey,
of...
reflective.
I feel like listening to this song now.
Right now, no, it's such a great beat.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my first couple of songs that I would recommend from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Non-love songs.
My first song topping the list is I Like to Move It, Move It. I like to move it. It was actually one of my first ever heard party songs. First pop songs I remember I was 5 or something. So I think it was the first song that struck me.
It was a double whammy for me because I really liked the song and then it featured in my most favoritist animated film, Madagascar.
Yeah.
Right.
On my favorite character. And
Yeah.
I thought it was
King Julian.
too cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Fun. And
Did you know Sacha Baron Cohen versus King Julian?
Of course. Who else
Can
would
play it,
do
yeah.
that glorious a job?
And one more song to go. This is Yeah, Coco Jumbo. I love it. Man.
Priyanka,
I'm sorry.
I know
Come
exactly what year you're born in,
Exactly.
It's fine.
Pick me up, put me down, and make me happy. Cool.
Yeah, so...
But this is, I think, in a way, it's about sexual innuendos.
Yes.
Yeah, but when you're a 5-year-old, you don't care. For you, it's a party song.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that's actually my list is not like a lifelong list. It really is. My 5 songs come from my last 2 weeks playlist.
Mm-hmm.
So no, just to give you perspective, I haven't dug
No,
deep.
but for me, I'm just going back to
Yeah,
my all-time non-love songs.
that's true.
Yeah.
But Coco Jumbo has a legit lyric that says, I like my chicken with rice and lemonade. Have you heard that?
Okay.
No.
Come
I
on, now
don't
we must
remember
go
this.
back and listen to
Yeah.
this now.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so Kavita, what's...
So my first song recommendation is from the movie Gangs of Wasseypur and it's called Womania.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love that
Do you
song.
like that song?
Yes,
It got composed by Sneha Khanwalkar
Khanwalkar, yeah.
and
Right.
sung by somebody by the name of Rekha Jha and Khushbu Raj. No, Rekha Jha, you're looking at me like as if whether it was...
The BuzzFeed Rekha Jha.
No.
This is Rekha, yeah?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Basically, this one's a local singer from that area.
She's
Right,
a local...
right.
The UP.
Okay.
Not
belt.
UP, this is Bihar, Jharkhand.
Jharkhand,
Yes,
sorry.
so this is from there. So of course she's got the rustic, voice.
Yeah,
She's got, and also I thought the words of the song were quite
Yeah.
awesome, right?
It's really
Yeah.
it's about women empowerment in its own way.
Of course it
but
is,
also,
and and it's based in that part of the world,
Yeah,
like part
yeah.
of this country. Like, and I just thought that it was one of the most well-made, well-produced, composed songs.
Yeah, and if you watch the behind the scenes of this, you'll see that along with the lead singers, there were like a bunch of ladies who were like walking down the street from the studio, and Sneha Kanwalkar went and she like just come in and just like start singing. So the whole oh woman, yeah. So all the ladies were singing in the background.
So raw
Very
sounding,
authentic.
right?
And it's women from the streets who got into the studio and they started jamming.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Also, I thought Sneha Kanwalkar did a great job. She was really, really well known to kind of like, go to varied places and,
Sound
saw.
tripping.
She did that
Yeah.
show where, you saw sounds from like the places that you're,
Film is based in.
filming in and using that to give, a great sound design element to the song. So I thought she
And
did
Varun
that.
Grover on lyrics, so definitely.
Yeah,
it will
exactly,
be-
right? I mean, nothing better than that.
Cool. Next up, I have this song. This is a classic song, but it's in the opening scene of my favorite TV show of all time, The Wonder Years. It's called Turn, Turn, Turn by the Birds. So the song basically covered everything about like the 50s and 60s era and things that were going wrong. So it has a biblical approach to it, but also it asks humankind to like, turn back and repent and sort of look at what we're doing right now in current time and age. So to everything, turn, turn, turn. There's a season, turn, turn, turn.
Man, I remember that song.
Yeah. And it's a very distinct song, and if it plays in my head, I have to like keep on humming it the entire day. So that's my recommendation. The Birds with a Y.
That's the way, yeah.
My next one would be Avara Bhavre, which Kajol's really. It's about like her happiness in the Wadia, and like she's really.
Happiness in the Wadia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's like a lot like Dil Hai Chota Sa.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Yeah, it is like that.
Choti si aasha. So similarly, they're both in white, dancing around waterfalls and
pretty
talking to
things.
butterflies.
And I think that's also because it's literally like talking to the nature, connecting with it, exploring yourself and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it's more to do with the fact that Kajol was like a big hit then, and everything that she did.
And very innocent also looking like.
Yeah,
Back
very
then
cute.
very timid.
Timid. She looked like she could wallop you.
Yeah. No, not
The
timid.
unibrows beg to differ.
Yeah, that's what like.
But like even Mere Khabo Mein Jo Aaye, that's like an extension of that song only if you look
But
at
that's
it.
a pro love song. That's like, oh my god, like I can't sleep because this guy is taking over me.
Yeah, and I haven't even seen him. But in my visuals, he's Shah Rukh Khan. So let's hope he turns up.
Turns out, no? Yeah.
And Frozen by Madonna, which is
Frozen is a
absolute
high
opposite.
five, Priyanka.
Yes,
Chal, finally.
Finally.
Ek something. Because I'm actually making a list here saying, okay, these are the songs I haven't heard in a really long time, but no, this song I like.
Yeah, which is exactly the opposite. Your heart is not open. That means you're not in love, and you're not open to love, basically, right?
And that means you're frozen.
Yeah, that means you're frozen. Again, yeah, I think I heard this. I don't know why.
Great
but
video also.
Yeah.
I loved the video.
Very nice
Yeah,
video.
yeah, and that's when Mehendi became cool in the West because Madonna
all
was.
her henna hands.
Yeah. Madonna
Go
does
to
this thing, right?
henna.
Like she became like this famous person in the 80s, and then everything she would do in her video, she would try to implement an element of something that she's discovered on her own. And then she's like one of those YouTube vloggers we now have, where they're like, oh, I discovered something cool, so let me show you. But that thing has existed for a while.
Existed forever.
Like voguing, for example. Voguing was like a proper subculture of the queer community
Exactly.
for years. And then Madonna discovered, and then she's like, oh, Vogue. And then everybody's like, groove into the music. But like everybody's been doing voguing for like
For
past
a
20
really
years.
long
Madonna.
time, but
Yeah.
she
She does that. She puts the thing on
She's
the
an
map.
It's also
icon,
like
man.
Madonna,
Yeah.
doing whatever she does, yeah.
She put
It's
Justin
amazing.
Timberlake also on the map in a way. With that song.
That is true.
Cool. Next song.
Is me. So I don't know why, but this is A.R. Rahman's Escape from Danny Boyle, Slumdog Millionaire.
Right.
And I know, like, when this movie released and, the music released, everyone became a fan of Jai Ho.
Yeah.
And then it became this anthem. And then everywhere you went, and I remember I watched a lot of cricket then and whatever, and I would see this as, being used in a promo, used in almost every piece of
A lot of times without
bravado.
permission, I think.
And I was like, why? But actually, if you listen to the album, this song is by far, like, this is like like music genius element. I mean, I don't know if you've heard this song, but you know, it starts off with one single instrument to go into like 100-piece orchestra set. That's just, and it's pure music layering, right? It's just varied like layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. And you know, from a layman's perspective, I mean, I don't understand. Of course, it's a great composition and a great, you know, Western electronica to like classical sounds. So it starts off with a sitar and then like kind of goes into like this thing of like which you could probably totally dance to at some like great electronica
So
party.
I have a thought on why the song never took off, because we have like Bairamji and all these other musical composers who have done it for years now. Like, you know, foreign musicians who've come to India, picked up the sitar and, you know, worked on some Indian classical, then westernized it in a way. So
the fusion sounds.
Yeah, so Slumdog Millionaire became famous in Hollywood because of the movie's buzz. And so for them, Jai Ho was a quintessential Bollywood sounding song, right? Where they can do this.
Also dance with flags. And do that, right? And so how else are you going to showcase Indianness in New York by dancing to something like this?
I agree that Escape is like very profound as a work of art. I even danced to Jai Ho, by the way, in my college days.
Nice.
I won an award for that.
See, that's what I mean. It's just like automatically you get picked up as like the anthem song.
The winning song.
This song got ignored, in the album. So my second recommendation would be that.
Cool. Next up is a song that I can't stop humming every time I'm going up and down a lift. It's What's Up by 4 Non-Blondes.
Best.
And I said, hey, 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 hey.
I haven't heard 4 Non-Blondes in so long, dude. Come on, writing this down.
Hey, what's going on? Have you heard this?
I have, but I'm not going to attempt.
What a great video also.
Yeah. So it was made famous again after Sense8 played that song, where all 8 of them are singing that song while being, you know, in different situations in different countries. But the song, I first heard the song on a Monday morning after Ganpati Visarjan was done, and I went to Gorai Beach when the beach was like, after the Visarjan day is over, the beach is just like basically lying in shambles.
Right.
But my friend and I, we went to the beach hoping to like, you know, just chill and like, you know, take some fresh air, whatever fresh we could. And he played the song on his phone and I'm like, wow, man, this like, it seems perfect for right now. There's nothing about love, there's nothing overtly, you know, insensitive or anything. The song is just about like what's happening in my life right now. I've been living for 25 years and things are still like not going anywhere sort of thing, which is my life. But the main chorus is just look so hummable, and Josh and I would like keep singing that all the time when we could, like, you know, we could jam on a guitar. So What's Up by 4 Non-Blondes.
Okay, nice. My would be, I like this song, Yahi Meri Zindagi Hai from Dev D.
Yes.
Aditi Singh Sharma sung it, and she has this powerful, nice voice. Like if you want to go out for a walk after a shit night, like you can just hum through it, and it's basically about life and how you are in your life and what people expect out of you, and you know how you see yourself. It's extremely poetic. And basically it had it was a track for Kalki in the film in Dev D. And you know, it was not like the best phase for her. She was getting stared at wrongly, and after the whole MMS incident in the film. So I love this song, man. I would go back to it any day. And I think it was a song sort of ahead of its times in its tonality, like extremely acoustic, raw, nice, not very preachy.
Nothing. It was a very easy breezy, and I thought it fit so well into the film. Because the other song I really, really like in that film is, and this is not on my list, just that you're talking about.
I think we're thinking the same song.
Is Pailya by Shruti Pathak.
No, I was thinking of Pardesi.
No, Pardesi is an amazing track. But I'm just saying that in this whole thing of, you know, how this... see, what I liked about Dev D as an album only was that it took like the narrative forward, right? Every single song. I mean, the first time I think I bought like a proper album, like to, you know, movie music was Dev D. And, you know, there's so many varied singers that we'd not heard ever. So many first time singers. And this really like raw production, you know, vibe. And I thought that other song that I really, really enjoyed was Pailya by Shruti Pathak.
Extremely individualistic, all of them.
Very,
versatile.
Also so
voices.
true to all the characters that were
Right,
there, right, in the
right.
film. This Aditi Singh Sharma song that you're recommending, I thought fit beautifully well with Kalki's character.
Yeah.
And Pailia actually, I think, kind of featured both the women as Michael.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Remember Toba Tera Jalwa? The
Yeah,
wedding anthem.
yeah.
So do you know who's there in the video?
Those two guys, right? They are the. Tell me.
You know who these guys are?
They
I have
are-
no idea who these guys are.
I know this story, but
One of them is a very famous actor now.
Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
Yeah, Nawazuddin Siddiqui
Yeah.
Okay.
and Sunil Grover.
Yes.
So
yes.
these two guys are in the video.
Yes, and they look randomly similar, right?
Yeah,
They look
yeah,
like
yeah.
a set of twins
They're very like,
that you got in
like
like some
Bihari
village in
Elvis.
Jharkhand and told them to like become a part of some brass band and then
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
do this stuff. But yes, I remember Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Yes.
Nice.
One song that I think definitely needs a mention is A Claw from Amir. It was sung by Shilpa Rao.
Okay.
Beautiful, extremely sad song. If you remember the film, it's basically
Yeah, it's
when
so intense.
yeah,
that
it's
film.
very
My
intense.
God.
Basically,
I got tired like in the middle of it all. I was like, man, this poor guy is running around. But yes, the music is.
that song is all about pain, and basically he's turned into a suicide bomber, and this song is picturized when that scene happens, and everything is blown into flames, right?
What movie is this?
Amir is
Amir.
basically Rajiv Khandelwal.
Oh yeah, correct. He's a lawyer in that, no?
he lands up in some
He
at a
is,
station and then just randomly
At the
starts
airport,
getting,
and
yeah.
then he's a Muslim, and then people figure like, अच्छा इसका नाम Amir है, तो ये तो terrorist तो होगा ही. That's the premise of the film, and then he basically gets conned into committing something like that when he has got nothing to do with,
Correct.
this.
Because my other favorite from that movie is the title song called Hai Rahm by.
Yeah. That's also very heavy.
It's a qawwali. It's very nicely
yeah,
done.
yeah.
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 So cool. Then now time for me to actually we've just like gone off on it.
Like we can do this 10 more times.
Yeah.
So my third song is Busy Earning by Jungle.
Oh yeah, great song.
I think it
Great
is.
dancing,
Yes,
everything.
absolutely. I
Perfect.
thought just the way the video is styled,
Yeah, yeah.
even the song, right? I mean, it is just, it's got this tempo that you'd probably want to turn it on first thing in the morning, especially if you're going running, you're
Yeah.
hitting the gym. It's one of those things that always features on my playlist alongside David Guetta's Titanium. Also one of my favorites. But Jungle actually really, really cool brand. I mean, they're an English modern soul musical collective based out of London.
Yeah.
But they just do this stuff that, it just is, I don't know, it always features on my playlist and is one of those like great pick-me-up songs, just like very...
And have you noticed, like in the video, if you look at it closely, like there's a lot of people of color, and there's
Yeah,
diversity in
yeah,
that in regards
absolutely.
to they all
So much attitude
so much
in it,
attitude.
yeah.
Like you can find out if somebody's alternate sexualities are also featured in the
Yes.
video. So it's a very cool,
And very
up
well styled,
forward, yeah.
and I thought it was like a really, really fun
Cool.
listen.
I've been talking about only English songs so far, so I'm gonna throw in my first Bollywood recommendation.
Go for it.
Rubaru. From the movie
from,
Rang De Basanti.
Rang De Basanti.
Yeah, what a great song.
Yeah.
And even Kalbali for that matter, like from the movie itself, I think A.R. Rahman has kind of mastered the art of like not talking about love but also conveying so many emotions at the same time through his music.
Yeah.
So Rubaru is about like everything that kind of like if you're going on a journey
life, yeah,
about
yeah,
life, about friendship, about loss, about gain, about
Everything.
struggles. So that's what like you believe in yourself and now you're wizened up. So kya aage
The
hai
movie
mujhe
had
nahi.
some very, very nice music. My favorite song from that movie was Luka Chupi.
Yeah.
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 Again, extremely
Such an emotional song.
Yeah,
My
if you
God.
don't break down and cry during that scene, then you're not human.
Then exactly.
then
But
die.
but that song is really, really nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So before we wind up this discussion, do you have any honorable mentions that you want to throw in before we wind up?
Yeah, I think my favorite song is Don't Give Up by Sia,
Awesome.
which was from the film Lion.
Kavita?
So I have two songs. One is Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake and Mori Arat Suno by Tina Sani and also Atif Aslam in the movie The Reluctant Fundamentalist.
Nice. I have like three more to throw in because I have so many songs.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, when Priyanka actually told me like, we're doing this and it's a music thing and you must like, I was like, dude, but like lifelong.
We'll never get
This
over.
show will never
Yeah,
end.
yeah, but I just went back to my very first songs. Like,
I went to my playlist of like the last 2 weeks.
Okay, a little help from my friends, both Harry Chapin and Beatles version. I get by with a little from my
Harry
friends.
is best.
Blowing in the Wind by Bob Dylan. and Bohemian Rhapsody, The Queen,
Yeah.
and finally Frontier Psychiatrist by the Avalanches.
High five.
What a great song.
What a song.
Sampled. So yeah, I think we should finish because we'll never get done with recommending non-love songs. Dear listeners, if you have any favorite non-love songs, do write to us, do send us links. We'd love to check them out, and we'll talk about them in a later episode maybe. We'll have a part 2 to this if we never get tired of this.
On demand.
On demand. So
I think we should keep this one show running.
So demand for it and we'll oblige.
And on the flip side, you can also go back to our recommended makeout songs, if ever.
That was a great playlist, man.
Yes.
It
Do you
is.
remember? I thought I recommended
Extremely versatile, random songs.
Absolute awesome tracks.
What did you recommend? Remember?
One is Sexy Back. One is Raghav's Angel Eyes.
Great, great.
God.
So,
Okay.
Just an example of what you can expect from that podcast as well. So,
I recommended some great stuff.
I agree. So let's wind up now, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Priyanka.
Bye.
Kaudam,
Bye.
And Jaanam, wherever she is, may she be happy. And I'm mean. And I'm Naveen Narona saying bye-bye. We'll see you next week. If you want to talk to us, check out IVM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll be there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Believe it or not, you stare at digital screens for 6 hours every single day. This makes your eyes age faster than the rest of your body. You're staring at screens as you're browsing through your Instagram or reading an ebook or even making a business proposal. What if your eyes could go to a natural spa and rejuvenate themselves? Made with the best ingredients sourced from nature, Setu IMAX is a modern health supplement that protects and rejuvenates your eyes from all that strain from digital screens. Setu IMAX is enriched with carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin, making it the perfect nutritional filter for the digital age. Check out www.setu.in to buy IMAX, and you can get up to 50% off if you use the promo code SETU50. Also, head to the Instagram page where we have a contest running for you. Share a screenshot of what you're watching on your phone right now, whether it's your Instagram feed or your favorite YouTube channel or anything else, and upload it to your stories using IMAX as a hashtag. That's IYEMAX. Also, make sure you tag Setu India, and we'll give you a chance to win a TV binging kit from us. Protect your eyes, or rather, screen-proof them.
As you can see, we have a podcast listener in his natural habitat. Millions of years of evolution have led him to this point. He's on his way to work, and listening to podcasts makes his miserable day better. He will now head to work and use all his knowledge to communicate with other colleagues and possibly future mates. You can find more of his species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out all the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.